Hey everybody, it's Greg. Relatively quiet here today, which was somewhat expected after yesterday's move. So, encouraging here is that the consumer discretionary index is showing some relative strength. It's penetrating into this congestion area up here. After breaking down, got this bottoming tail bar, another bottoming tail bar yesterday, not unusual after some of the runs that there was yesterday. And there was follow through today, which there isn't a lot of follow through in some of the other markets. But it's into this pretty significant congestion area. So whenever we look at an index or an ETF, well, what's moving it? And so, I have a minder linked to that. And Lulu, which has been getting decimated all year, gapped up. Expedia looks like it's making a bottom. Could be heading up toward the 50 and the 200. Wide range bar today. Maybe a resting day. Maybe it follows through. We've got this news tomorrow, and we'll see if that follows through. Tesla has just been so erratic, but it's been holding this level, creating support after this gap up. This was getting killed as well. Gap up, another gap up, pulled back into the unfilled gap, and consolidating. We got a pivot right there. We got a pivot here. Got a green day today so far. Maybe it goes higher. The bigger the day gets, the greater the possibility or probability that it'll go higher. So I'm keeping an eye on that. And there's other bottoming stocks since the index wasn't doing anything. Nike, it broke out. I had the alert earlier. I'll find a way into that. But that looks like it's going to go higher. All right, so, let's Chipotle. That things always goes up, it seems. You can't get enough of rice and beans in a burrito. So that looks like probably at least a put spread. We'll see if Dan wants to take a look at it when he's back. But the broader markets, what are they doing? Well, a lot of the semiconductors started giving back gains. No real damage done to the sector ETF. What's doing well? So some of the catch-ups. AMD is improving, maybe getting ready, keeping an eye on that. This one's doing well. What's not doing well? MU, it's just consolidating its gains, can kind of deep into that red bar. Maybe we can get a bear sandwich kind of a pattern, which would be a green day tomorrow. Today's not over, but we'll see what happens there. NVIDIA, some gains being taken, still in a nice uptrend. Is it extended? A little bit, but look at the consolidation that it had for so many months. The breakdown, the recovery, the sideways, and then the gap and the gap. And so while it's up a lot, and of course up a lot this year, the trend is still supportive of a bias that it could go higher, and that'll be the case until that changes. All right, block ETF trade looks fantastic. That's going up. Mara just can't get out of its own way. I don't know if that topping tail will change, but it cleared these highs. Maybe it'll come back. RNG was a nice little buy setup on the intraday that I shared in the room. That looks like it'll continue to grind higher. We'll see where that closes the day. The Dow is doing absolutely nothing. Maybe it's going to do a little catch up on the 5-minute. We're keeping an eye on that. Financials, not doing a darn thing. S&P 500, just an inside, kind of not an inside. It did gap up today, and that came back, and it's recovering as I speak, a slow grind higher. The Qs, similar, just chop. This is just a pattern to just stay away from. It's indecisive. Of course, how do I define that? Wide bars, narrow bars, bottoming tail bars, some top tail bars, overlapping bars. It's just a mess. So just stay away. What are my transports? ETF. I have to add that to the list. XRT, I think it is. XTN. Doing absolutely nothing. Just chopping back and forth here. IWM, was heading down. It's recovered. It could have been a little short-term trade, as this started to break down. And now it's recovered right back up to the open. That's the blue line. So there's really not much of anything going on there. Interest rates holding so far. So no information there to help us one way or another. USO, recovering after the breakdowns. We'll see how far this gets. Meaning, can it get back up to the breakdown area? That could be a positive for oil and oil stocks in those ETFs, but probably not for the broader markets if it retraces all the way back up there, the old inflation theme. So there you have it. There's not too much going on, but consolidation day. I'm just looking at a couple others, communication services. That's moving up, and of course, we could look and see what's doing well, what's not doing well. Mitch coming off of a bottom, Warner Brothers, Charter Communications, a nice little buy set up there, and so on. Just Google kind of grinding its way back, Netflix kind of grinding its way back up there. What else? Consumer staples. Yeah, that was interesting. After this giant day last week, it's just kind of a grinder, and many things other than the Qs and the spiders moving up as they did yesterday. So just so many things really didn't participate much in that advance yesterday. We looked at that, just going through S&P 500 sectors here. So industrials weak. So we'll see where this goes. Sometimes it's going to be feast or famine depending on what the market's doing. So a little quiet right now. Things will pick up again. As always, if you have any questions, email Dan and I, Dan and Greg at Master Trader.